Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.
In this podcast, we'll talk about something that could reshape the European economy: electrification. But what exactly is it? And how can it help the European economy become more sustainable and competitive? Stay with us.
Driven by the EU's climate ambition and security of supply, electrification is gaining momentum across various sectors, including transport, buildings, and industry. But what is it about?
It's all about replacing old, fossil fuel-based technologies with electricity-powered ones, preferably from renewable sources like wind and solar, or low-carbon ones.
Electrification is key to slashing greenhouse gas emissions and making Europe less dependent on fossil fuel imports. But according to Eurostat, in 2022, the electricity demand was only 23% of the EU's final energy consumption.
But that number is set to rise as electricity prices recover from the spike caused by the war in Ukraine and the ensuing energy crisis. And the change is already happening.
Since the start of the energy crisis, 3 million heat pumps and another 3 million electric cars were deployed in the EU, as well as approximately 500 megawatt of electrolyzers to boost the production of green hydrogen.
According to the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research, with available technologies, it's already possible to electrify 78% of EU industrial energy demand. And this figure can rise to 99% when technologies currently under development are ready for use.
And among all sectors, transport is probably the one with the highest potential for electrification. And it's not only about driving an electric car. It's about electrifying the entire public transport system and freight. So, how can electrification help the European economy become stronger and more competitive?
Well, as it turns out, there's a strong link between electricity use and economic development. Studies have shown that in wealthy countries, GDP per capita correlates more closely with electricity use than with total energy consumption.
And what could really boost Europe's competitiveness are electricity prices.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. As we ramp up the use of renewables, we could see electricity prices go down. Among other studies leading to similar conclusions, a working paper by the International Monetary Fund found that for every 1% increase in the renewable energy share, wholesale electricity prices in 24 EU countries dropped by an average of 0.6%. Imagine what that could mean for businesses and households.
And it's not only about lowering energy costs. Renewable electricity also ensures price stability in the long term, as it protects the economy against external price shocks, like the one we recently experienced.
So the economic case for electrification is getting stronger every day. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are bottlenecks, like upgrading an already old grid and ensuring we have enough storage to balance the variability of wind and solar electricity production.
Electrifying all heating and cooling systems in buildings and industry is also a mastodontic task. And if we're going to electrify transport, we'll need massive investments in charging infrastructure and to explore the potential of vehicle-to-grid technology.
The EU is also lagging behind in the production of solar and battery technologies, which are essential for electrification. But it's leading on the other key technologies, such as onshore and offshore wind energy, energy efficiency, and smart grids.
So yes, there are challenges. But no one said electrification was just about flipping a switch. It's about transforming the EU's economy, boosting energy security and energy independence, achieving climate neutrality, and leading the charge in the fight against climate change globally.
To get there, more EU efforts are needed, and that doesn't only mean policies, but also, and especially, investments. Updating the grid should be a priority, as well as setting the right incentives for renewable energy developers and grid management flexibility solutions. And electrification campaigns could help put industry in the right mindset.
Electrification should also be inclusive and made in Europe. So stay tuned. We've got an electrifying journey ahead. And check out Vasco Guedes Ferreira's full policy brief on the EPRS website or in our app.
This is a European Parliamentary Research Service podcast.
Thanks for listening.